Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. So great to be here this Sunday. My name is June Leindecker and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of San Antonio, Texas. I love coming on live every Sunday to share Paper Pumpkin alternate ideas. I'm looking forward to today. I've got some fun fold cards planned for today. But before we get started, I just want to share a couple of things, like little housekeeping, and then we will dive in. So I'm going to put you down to the table. All right, so first off, we are in the subscription period for Mountain Majesties. This is through May 10th. You can choose to subscribe to that kit, Mountain Majesties, and it is a, the description says Father's Day cards with layered mountain landscapes. But I don't think they have to be Father's Day. If you have other sentiments, you can make these into anything. And the scenery looks really beautiful. The colors in that kit will be Basic Black, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight. That's going to be the Stampin' Spot, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. So really subdue neutral colors that are just really beautiful together. So I am looking forward to that kit and creating alternates with that for you. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that I did get my dies finally. And, I keep them in my little pouch here. So here are the dies. And they are really exceptional. So this is a Hugs die that coordinates with the kit for this month, so April. And then we have a flower, which I'm guessing is going to go with the June kit. Full of charm, because it looks similar to this. And I don't know if the leaf will go with that too. And then we have this banner die that I think is going to be for the May kit. So really great set of dies, and we're going to use some of them today. I've actually played with them this morning, and so here's the Hugs die. It's just gorgeous in that gold foil. And then some of the scraps from my Paper Pumpkin card bases I used to make some flowers, and so you can see they have a little bit of that foiling on there, and so I love it. And the leaves are really beautiful. Let's see here. I have one in white. I have a green one. There's black. I've just cut all different ones for me to play with. So we have just been having a lot of fun this morning, creating all kinds of, I have a partial gold one. I just had a little piece left of the gold foiling, and so just cut part of the die, because you can always use a smaller set of leaves sometimes. So I'm going to get these put away, and we are going to dig into our alternate projects for today. So we might be getting some of these things out as well. So, oops, let me put my dies back in here. Try to do most of the die cutting beforehand. So we have our kit, the cards that were created, in the kit are absolutely stunning. So you can totally make the kit as it stands. They're everything you need to create these cards is inside the kit. But I really love to create alternate cards, and so we are going to create some alternate cards today. So I actually have 4 of them on standby. We'll see how far we get. The first card I wanted to make is actually one that I got the idea from Brenda Quintana. She created this a while ago. It's called a tri-slide card. And it just looks like a lot of fun. And so I made one ahead of time because I wanted to try out the mechanism in it. And then I realized like I was going to have a little bit of a boo-boo going on. And so before I put my top on to the card, I wanted to kind of show you what I'm doing to fix my mistake in case you try this card. And and there is also an issue when you are creating. So this is the card. It just slides open like this is how it goes. And it's a pretty snug fit. And whenever you lay it flat, everything is flat. Okay. But when I was creating this, I realized that this one in the center, I had gotten it up a little too high, and so it wasn't flush at the bottom of here. And so I have this little line there because I wanted it to be even at the bottom. Okay, so you can see I have this little kind of crooked line going on there. The top actually lays very flush, as you can see. So what I did was I created my little top that's going to go my top layer. And what I ended up doing was I added my little sentiment out here to the side, and it's going to cover up that line. So it's just going to go right on here, just like so. And it's going to take care of my little mistake. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that on so you can see the full effect. And then we're going to create one together. So I'm just going to lay this on here like so and get it straight. And so that is the tri-slide card. Is it gorgeous or what? Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. And so this is how, it'll stand up. And it looks kind of like that when it's standing, but it just slides right back together. But you can see it's very snug. And that way it goes right inside your envelope, and it's pretty thin, actually. Very little bulk on this, except for this piece that has some dimensionals. All right, and so this is the card we're going to make today first, and we are going to make it using the Berry Burst, which is the ink spot for this kit. Hi, everybody. Hi, Nan. Thanks for tuning in. I'm in Texas, so glad to meet you. Hi, Susan. Great to see you. Hi, Marianne. Thanks for joining. All right, so we are going to get our pieces out. Okay, so I've already kind of pre-cut things, and I'll give you some measurements as we go. I have 2 little fronts here, and for this I am bringing in the arched dies. I think they're called everyday arches. So yeah, everyday arches, and so I'm bringing in this die. Now I will tell you, if you have these from the center, it's the fourth largest. Okay, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 arches in here. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 10 sizes. That's quite a die set. So I wanted to just make sure I showed that to you. Again, it's the fourth large from the smallest, it's 4 out. So I am using that. Now on my sample card here, I did use let me get it. The Gallery Blooms. I did use the Gallery Blooms dies. I used some of these smaller dies to create the flowers on that card, okay? And I just cut them out of some of the scraps of the card bases that were in the kit, the Paper Pumpkin kit. So just to let you know, we are going to be using for our center on this next card, we're going to be using pieces from the Paper Pumpkin kit, but just wanted you to know where I got these little flowers from so that you weren't curious or thought you didn't get something in your kit. All right, so what we have here is this piece of cardstock is 5.5 inches by 10 3/4. Okay, and you are going to score at 1 5/8 and then 3 1/4, and then you will turn it around and do the same scoring on the other side. So again, 1 5/8 and 3 1/4. So that is the scoring that needs to be done for this card base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just burnish those score lines and show you what this card base looks like at this point. So has anybody made this card before? So there is a gap here, but don't worry, it's intentional. You're not even going to know really that that's there once we put it all together. So so that's our card base. I'm going to set that aside for now. Then I do have a piece for the inside of the card base, like here. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just using basic white. All right, so we have that piece. And then we have the pieces that are gonna start the slider. And so you're gonna have two that are the same. So you need 2 that are 4 1/4 inches by 1 7/8. And then you need just 1 at 4 1/4 and 1 3/4. And this smaller one is going to go in the middle. Okay, so it's going to go kind of like that. Okay, so we have those pieces and they are going to go onto our card base. One is going to go flush at the bottom on the left, going to get glued down on the bottom at the left. And then the other same size is going to get flush at the upper left corner. Again, only glued on this panel right here. Okay. And then we're going to dry fit this one in the center. And so we just have to make sure once we get everything on there that it all fits before we put it down. So we might need to do it just a little bit of trimming. So I'm going to show you how to do that at this time. Okay. So the very first one is going to go on this side. And so I'm just using my grid paper to kind of line up where I want my glue on the card base. Okay, so I'm just putting my glue on here like so. And then I am bringing my piece on here, and I'm just making sure that I have it flat and that it is flush with that edge on all sides. Okay, so that's the first one that we're putting on. And just making sure we have it all straight and even. Okay, and I can see already like there's just a smidge here where things are not exact measured. Hi Melanie, thanks for joining tonight. I think that's going to be fine, to be honest, but we will keep going and see which ones we have to adjust. Okay, so now I have this piece here, and again I'm just laying this out next to here so I can just get glue where I need it on this piece. Okay, and so now we're going to put this side down, and again it just needs to be flush with the card base on that flap. Okay, so just making sure where we are flush. I think we are. You know, I cannot see anymore. People with my old eyes are getting old. Let's see, I'm just a little bit crooked there, but I think I got it straightened out. All right, so now we have that piece there. Okay, and I can see there's some just smidge differences in how it got folded. I don't think it's a big deal. I just think this is the kind of thing that happens when you make all these pieces and you make the trims with your cutter, and if everything is not so precise, it really can make a difference. So now what we want is for this piece to lay flat in there, and wow, does that work out nice. All right, so this piece here is going to go right in there, and it seems to fit very well right there. So we are going to just the card base, Melanie, it is the Berry Burst. So same as the ink spot that we have for our kit this year, or this month, excuse me. It's pretty color, isn't it? So now I'm just putting glue on this side. And if you're just tuning in, we are making a, what did I call it? A tri-slide card. All right, so this is getting just laid right in there. And I'm just making sure I have things lined up. Perfect. So, and you can see it just slides together like so and fits right in there. Oh, you're welcome. So great to have you all joining. All right, so that's that part. Now I have cut up some of the card base from the kit, and we are going to be adding this to this card front. So each of these are the same size. I think, yep, they all are. And I don't need 4 of them. I'm not sure why I had 4 in this stack, but these actually lay out. I'm going to try and see how these lay out, because I think it should be the order of the card itself. That's the same piece, so it probably went like this. That's probably what it is, but can't work either. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, to be honest. We are gonna still add it on here, so I'm just trying to make sure I know what direction I want things to be. And I actually think this is how it was. That's how it went. All right, so I'm setting that one aside because I'm going to use it in this order. All right, now I'm sure you're wondering, how come these are the same size and we had different size pieces over here? So it's all in how it gets put together, because the piece in the middle is going to be edge to edge. And that's where I had my issue when I made my sample. Okay, and then you're going to have a little bit of extra at the top here and a little bit of extra at the top or at the bottom over here. So as we put it together, it'll make a lot of sense. So we are going to go ahead and put on our first piece. And like I said, it gets put right to the edge of the strip that is in here, okay? And it leaves a little bit of a frame down at the bottom. Do you see that? Like so. Yes, it's a little bit tricky. All right, so we are going to go ahead, if I get my fingers in the right direction. So I want that to be right at the edge of that strip, like so. Once again, I'm needing my glasses. All right, so that looks good. Bring that up just a smidge. There we go. Amazing what you can see when you have your glasses on. Challenging is good. Thank you, Susan. I'm so glad you appreciate it. It really is not a hard card to make, but there are some pieces that you have to get in the right place. So now we're going to put the top on. I think what I did last time was I put the middle on, and that's where I got a little bit messed up. So we're going to do it differently and hopefully have a better outcome. So, all right. So now this one is going to go here. I get my glasses again. I don't know why I keep getting them off, but I can't look at I can't see certain things with them. So it's kind of funny. All right, I think we got that straight. Got a little glue on my finger. Yes, that looks good. That looks good. All right. So now, hey, Wanda, Great to see you tonight. Thanks for joining. All right, now this one is going to go right here. And just like so. And it needs to go right edge to edge on that one. I think we might get this just right. So exciting. All right. I think I forgot to tell you the size of these strips. So I will do that once I get this on here. Ooh, we did it. We did it, everybody. Oh, you just no worries. We're just getting started. We are making a tri-slide card, Wanda. All right, so let me tell you the size of these layering pieces, which is a card base from the Paper Pumpkin kit, but we're treating it like a DS piece. So it is 4 inches by 1 3/4 inch. So all 3 of them are the same size. Okay. And I believe if you have them all together, yeah, it's the 5 1/4 basically is what you end up with. So it's basically cutting it into 3. I got a little glue right here that I see. Let me just get that off of there. Probably from my sticky fingers. All right, so that's how that looks, and it just folds out just like so. And again, it just fits snugly together just like that. Okay. And yay, we made it through that piece of it. All right, so I am seeing that I do need to get a sentiment label out of my goodies that I have here. And so I use the one with the round edge on each side, and I'm going to get our foam mat. We're going to do a little bit of stamping for the inside. Okay, so on the inside, I just did hugs and some butterflies like this, and I added a little bit of a strip here. So maybe that's why I have this out in here so that I could cut a little strip. I bet that's what that's for. At least that's what we're going to do with it. Oh, I have a piece of hair on the table. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping, do our sentiment on here, and stamp the inside. So we have our hugs, our butterflies, and you are amazing. So let's go ahead and ink these up and stamp them here like so. All right. Perfect. Yep. Beautiful. And then we have our hugs we're going to put on the inside. Just like that. And put a little butterflies next to it. And that is that. All right, so those are our pieces that we needed to stamp. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this on the inside. Whew, that probably should have been done sooner. Just sliding it in there is one thing. Much less with all the added arms on the card. All right, there we go. That looks good. So that's the inside, all right? And then we have to put together our front, all right? So I was going through some of my stash and I found some of the ombre glimmer paper, and I don't remember which one it was, but it had all these colors in it. And so I thought this might look nice as the background for our scene. But I also have a white one so that we could kind of play around and see which one we like. All right, so we have options, all right? And we're going to use the leftover piece of the die cut from the kit that we have here. And so we're going to do a little bit of cutting on this. I want to get my trimmer first because I want to get a straight line down here if I can, just below the grass. So I'm going to bring my blade up right there. And I'm actually cutting off those little gold stripes on here. Only because it made it too tall to be honest. That was the issue here. And so let me get my paper snips. So I'm actually going to just trim it off. We're going to keep that little flower. So I have this piece. I don't know, maybe I'll use it for something. But we have this piece here that we're going to use. We could put it on here, the white. So this is what it would look like with the white. Like so. We would put that there. And our sentiment will go right here, like that. So that's white. All right. I would like some voting, please. So help me out. And then I have the glimmer paper. And so what does that looks like if I can get my fingers on here? So here's with the glimmer paper. I definitely think that the glimmer paper helps the sentiment stand out. But I do think that the die cut of the little flowers doesn't pop as much as it does on the white. So let me know. Oh, you like the glimmer? Anybody else? This is kind of boring in my mind on the back of here. So, oh, we need a tiebreaker. We need a tiebreaker. Oh, we got, oh no. Oh no. So funny. Oh, wow. White glimmer, white glimmer. Oh, white's winning. Wow. Thanks for playing. All right, white it is. I do like how it pops the die cut on here. All right, let's just set this aside and we'll maybe use that glimmer paper on something else. So we are going to, what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to glue the bottom down, but I'm going to put some dimensionals up here to kind of give it a little bit of a lift. And so let me find my little dimensionals, my little minis. All right, so I'm going to put 2 right up here. I think that's going to fit. Let's just see if okay, good. All right, so now I'm going to put a little bit of glue oh goodness, this is, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take my little dimensional covers off and see what we get. All right, so we are just gluing this down. I'm putting it right at the edge of the stitching on the die. And I mean, it just fits this little die perfectly. The arch itself. So that's how that looks. Beautiful. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I thought about putting more, doing a layer marsh. I did think about that, and I decided I didn't want the extra weight on there, so this will be fine. Yes, Susan, that's a good idea. I didn't think of it, and I'm not sure I want to do that at this point, but I do have an idea of what I can do is, let's see, I think, oh, yay, I do. Let's do some splatter on it. That will give it a little bit of a kick. Let's see here. Yes. I think that's a good idea. Let's see if I can not make a big old mess. Get some paper out here. Hide my sentiment. Let's just see what we can do. I don't know if this works or not. Oh, it does. Oh, I like that. All right, there we go. That works. Yeah, I like it. All right, so just a little splatter on there using one of these Stampin' Write markers. Worked out just fine. So, yay. All right, so now we are going to add all of our pieces to the card front. And it's going to go just like so. With our sentiment, and I am going to put some dimensionals in here. I'm trying to use up this little leftover edge I have going on, so we're going to use it. It keeps getting caught on everything. Oh, I like the splatter with the watercolor background. That just worked out so good. All right, so now this is going to go on here. I'm just lining this up like so. And then we will add our sentiment right here. And I actually think I might just put some glue dots on the back of here to reduce the let's see here. I try to minimize the amount of bulk I end up with in my card if I'm going to mail it. So I'm just being thoughtful around that. All right, so here we go. We are going to put this right down here. Like so. Now let's add some brushed butterflies to give it a little bit of sparkle. And let's see here. There we go. All right, so that's our card. And I mean, I love that this card is so light and bright. And the other one that I made, it's not really dark, but it's different, right? Like they have a completely different look about them. So what do you think? That's a fun card, right? I mean, it's not hard. It's pretty easy to do. And I just love, I love that it gives like just some fun, right? And I mean, if you want to write in it, you just need to open it. I should have did that when I was gluing down the inside. And I could still add a little strip in here if I wanted, just to give it some additional flair. But I like how it goes together and just slides together. It's just kind of a cool little neat card. So, all right. So that is our first card for today. All right. So now let's go on to the next card I have. And this is also a design that I found from Brenda Quintana. I was doing some research, clearing out some of my email, and I found some card templates and I really liked it. This one is called a diamond flip card. I'd never really seen this before. But how cute is this? Look at that cute card. And it just opens up. You can flip this open like that. I just think this is so cute, and wait till you see how easy it is to make. Okay, so we are going to make this card next. All right, so again, we're going to use a different pattern of paper and stuff. And let's see, I don't know what I ended up doing with my other envelopes, so I'm gonna stick these in here for now. And oh, here it is. Whoops, now I have it. All right, so this card, and I left some of the stuff undone because I wanted to do it with you. But we have a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored, I believe, at 2 1/8. Yes, 2 1/8 and 5 1/2. Okay, and before you fold all the, before you burnish all the score lines, I just did the one at the 5 1/2. Okay. And I have some pieces out here of things that I thought we might use on this card, just to give a different look. And so I'm going to move some of this stuff aside for now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark on, and I'm doing this with both layers, okay? So once I have them folded, here's my score line, okay? And I have marked on my score line just a tiny little mark right here, and I used my friction pen, which is erasable, so I can take it off. But then I also measured across here at the half mark, which is 2 1/8, and put another little tick mark, okay? And then we're going to trim off some of the card stock, okay? And so you're going to line up the middle tick mark to the score line, okay? And I did make a little mark just to make it a little bit easier for me to see as I line it up into my trimmer so that I can cut it, okay? And so I am going to really hold this all pretty good because I've got to go through 2 layers of cardstock. And you can cut through 2 layers of cardstock, but you're going to have to be gentle and go through it twice, okay? So that's my first cut, all right? And I got both pieces off of here. I am not using this, so I'm throwing it out. Now I'm going to go the other direction, okay? And we are going to get this lined up once more. And there we go. And I'm going to hold it again and just go very gently back and forth like so. All right. So that is the diamond shape that we're making here, okay? And I am now going to get my little friction pen and just erase off the little markings that I had there because I could still see a couple little pieces from what we were doing, all right? And there we go. To get that off of there, all right? Now this is the piece that we did the score line, and so you can just kind of fold that back like so, and then fold it in because it's gonna go both ways, all right? And that is our card base, all right? The other piece that is a part of the card base is I believe this is 3 inches by 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches by 3 inches. And this piece is going to get adhered to this piece with the score line. And it is perfect. It fits perfect. Okay. And so we are going to glue this down onto that flap. So we are only going to put glue here. Okay. And that is where we're going to adhere that square, which is going to end up looking like a diamond shape. All right. And so I'm going to pick it up and make sure that I get it all flush. And laying on there perfectly. Okay. So that's what that looks like. All right. So now when I open this up, this folds this way. All right. So it can go that way and then flat. All right. So that is the card base itself. All right. So now we are going to make a few cuts. I'm going to show you. I have 2 pieces of basic white. And then I have a square piece as well. So on my card, I have this we are going to have basic white on this card. I think we may not. This is actually the envelope piece, by the way. And this is from one of the card bases. Then this is from the same card base, okay? And then I put a little strip in here off of that card base. But this piece here is actually from the envelope because it had the same coloring in it. So that's what I ended up using for this. So the piece here, it measures 4 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so that's the first piece we're going to cut, is 4 by 3 off of here. All right, and just moving some of this out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, 4 by 3, and I'm gonna need then a 2 3/4 piece by 2 3/4. So let's see if okay, I think I'm gonna do 4 inches. I'm just seeing how I can get the most out of my space, okay? And I'm not feeling really strong with my math at the moment. So if this is 5.5 and I cut it 3, it's gonna be 2.5. So I'm still gonna need to cut this for my other piece that I want. That's what I was trying to see if there was any way to get there, but I don't think there was. All right, so this is 4 by 3. All right, so that's one piece that we need. And then I'm going to need one that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now, I want to preserve my card base as much as I can. So I'm going to put this at a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go in a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to trim over here to that mark. And then I'm going to turn it. Again, 1/2 inch. Now that should probably be at the line that I need it. I think I moved it just a tad. And then I'm going to bring it down here, like so. And I'm going to turn, because I'm going to be able to get it out of the center of here. So, I just am making sure I put my score line at the 1/2 inch on this one. So, and then I'm moving this around. And basically, I'm trying to save my frame if I can so that we can use it on another card. And then I will trim that out. Now that may seem like a lot of trouble to you, but I wanted to use that if I could for something else. Well, there we go. So looks like I could probably use that. I may need to trim a little bit, but we're going to keep this just in case we want it for something else. So now what I need is to get a clean edge. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit here. and make sure I have a nice clean edge. So now I need a 2 3/4, but still don't have a good edge. So now I do. Now we got it. All right. And then let's see here. Perfect. All right. So now what I have is a 2 3/4 inch square. And I'm going to set those pieces. Oops. I needed that one. No, I don't need that one. Whoops. All right. So now I have a 2 3/4 inch square, and we're going to cut it in half diagonally. And just like so. Oops, my shirt's stuck in the trimmer. All right, so that's gonna go just like that. All right, so now I have 2 halves. All right, and we're gonna use that on the inside of the card itself. Okay, and then I have these pieces for the rest of our card. Now, I do not think that this was big enough for 2 3/4. No, it is not. So we are going to use the white for the center. And I have some ideas. So this piece is going to go in here. I'm trying to decide if I want the pink at the top or I want the pink at the bottom. I think I like it at the bottom. I think this says sky to me. So that's going to go like that. We are going to do something with this. I have some ideas, but I'm not ready for that. But that's going to go there. Then when we open this, we have these pieces. One's going to go here like that, and one is going to go here. And this is going to get fully finished out, okay? So then I have a piece for here, and I have a piece for here. Now, I didn't do that on my other card, but I can do it here. And I have like some other little pieces, like we could trim like and put a little piece in here if we wanted. I don't think these are big enough. Yeah, they're short. Or this one looks like perfect size. Okay, we'll use that one. And I actually think I might have, let's see. Look here. I actually have one of those pieces with the gold that I could use on here if I wanted, but I think I'll leave that off. We'll just use this. And we'll trim like a 1/2 inch. And a 1/2 inch. So how are y'all doing? What do you think about this card? Have you ever made a card, one of these diamond flip cards? So like we could put one in, oh, that's a little long. We could actually do it like this. So all the pink is in the middle. So I might glue these down first. And before we put the other pieces on, so that I can trim those little extra edges. So let's do this, and then we'll do a little bit of stamping on the inside. So I'm going to do it this way. And make sure I have it straight. Trim that. little piece there. And then we will line up this one and put this one on. See if we can get them as straight as possible. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's see, I think we got it right there. All right. All right. Okay, let's do just a little bit of stamping on here. And I think I want to use the Thinking of You stamp on the inside. So I'm going to use this. I want that to go on this one though. So this is going to go on here, just like so. Nice. So Thinking of You, and then over here we'll put some butterflies. I think that's good. All right, then we are going to go ahead and glue down our other pieces here. Okay, so let me just move these because I can see the camera acting funny. So this one's going to go on this side. Trying to just line it up best as I can. Get it straight on there. And then this one's going to go over here. I did these a little bit opposite than the front, or although we haven't put that down yet, but I put the blue at the bottom. Now it's water. All right, so then let's go ahead and put our these down on the inside. This just makes a really nicely finished out card. Such a nice little presentation. I hope you guys like them. Nice. Isn't that pretty? All right, so out here we have our layer to put on here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to just move this out so that I can get to where I want to glue something down. So I'm just going to do that. I want it to line up out here because this piece has a little bit of more of a gap on this side that I want it. That's really hidden for the most part. So like that. All right. So that's how this looks so far. Beautiful. All right. So now for this piece. And I have a couple of things. So since we are not going to get to the other cards, I'm going to have at least 2 cards ready for next week. They are not fun folds, so I'm stealing this from one of the other ones. So this is the leaf die, and I did it in the pool party. So we're going to use this, and I have the word hugs. So we're going to use the word hugs, and I have some flowers. Now I am thinking we only need one of these flowers, most likely. I just have to decide the orientation here. And so I really think I want this to go up here, and I think I want that like that, and then this coming across like so. I think that's what we're gonna do. Now I do want to do something around the edge of this, or actually I think I might do the splattering again, because I really like how that came out. I think these other flowers are a little too light. I suppose I could put 2 on here. Let's see. Layering them. Oh my goodness, cannot get that. My fingers underneath that. What do you think? 1 flower or 2 flowers? This is 2 flowers. Or this is 1 flower. Let me know what you think. And I am going to get my berry burst back out. And my splatter paper that I was using. 2. All right. 2. All right. So let's do this here. Nice. I like splatter. Nice. Okay. So we got that. And now let's see here. All right, this is actually how this is going to go. So I did not think about that while I was laying this out. So now, with that in mind, I am going to do this. Actually, let's do it like this. And we'll have the hugs going across there, like so. I think that is how we're going to do it. What do you think? And that will go right on here like that, just so you can get a feel for that. I think that looks great. All right, so these are going to go on dimensionals. The rest of this is going to get glued down. So I'm going to start unless I put the hugs on dimensionals, but it's pretty tiny. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down on here. And what would have been a nice idea is if I had layered the die. I just layered some of the dies, the hugs dies, but live and learn, right? All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on these. Just a tiny little dot on here, like so. And I'm just gonna do that a little bit off to the side. Now, the one thing I like about this die is it has a lot of little textures. And there's some little holes in the center. And so just to give it a little bit more depth, I am just kind of poking the paper up in those little holes. And I'll show you what it looks like once I get that done. So I don't know, I hope you can see that little pop up there. I just think it gives it a little more character. And then we're going to use a little dimensional on the back of it. Put this down. So we're going to, what I want is to kind of hide that's the end of the stem is what I'm trying to hide. But I want it, I really want this over more closer to it. There, that's what we're gonna do. This is gonna cover it up. All right, so just doing that same thing here, being a little more gentle because this paper isn't as heavy as cardstock, even though it is the bases from the kit. And I am just kind of pressing the little leaves on this a little bit up. All right, so now I'm gonna make sure I intentionally am covering that end of that stem right there because I don't want that to show. You see, I covered that up right behind there. All right, now we have our hugs. And I don't know if I can manage. I'm just going to put it on with glue. I just don't even want to deal with the dimensionals. So tiny on here. All right, I think we got that good and covered. All right, so now this is gonna fit very nicely right here. Very nice. What do you think? All right, I think we should add some brass butterflies just because I love them. Because I love them. but we'll just put 2 on here. So we'll just add 2 right there. And there's our card. So this one opens up like this. It's nice on the inside. Hugs, thinking of you. Fits perfectly in our envelopes because this is still 5.5 inches. Okay. And such a fun, easy little card. I just love how these came out right here. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love bringing you some fun alternate card designs. I do have 2 others. I'm gonna sneak and show you what they are, just because I think they're fun. So this will be one that we'll make. This is just one of them. So we have that one next week that we'll put together. And then I have another one, but I'll probably, since these are a little more simple, I'll probably do another one to go with it. So I just think this kit has been a lot of fun. It did not have like as many little pieces and things like that, but it's been a lot of fun creating the cards. So we did these, and we have these 2 cards, and let's see, where is my box? Because last week we made these 2 cards. So if you missed that, go check that out. We made this one last week. So far, and I have one more, and it's not my box. Where are my originals? The cards from the kit itself. Are they in here? They are not in here. I have to find those. So I have the cards we made, you know, the original unboxing, and then I did one other card design that first night. So far we've made 7 different alternates, and I've got 2 more for you, probably a third one. So I just love sharing all the fun with you, and I hope that you have a good time. Let's see here. What do we have? Some messages. Wanda, you haven't made this card before? Oh, good. I'm glad I'm bringing you something new and different. Oh, Susan, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you're loving it and getting around to it. Wanda, yes, I think you're right. The silicone glue would be a good way to raise it up. Thank you, Wanda. I'm so glad that, oh, you're making graduation cards. Oh, you got some kids graduating. Awesome. Well, I appreciate all of you for joining. And please, if you don't already follow me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I am going live and get the notification. If you're in our Facebook group on Facebook, the Paper Pumpkin and Kit Hangout, I am thankful for all of the people there that share fun ideas. So if you're not in there, please come over and find us. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to sharing more in the future. So I plan to be back next Sunday Same time, same place, so 4 p.m. Central on Red Daisy Crafts, both on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend and a great week ahead. Bye-bye.